Bah, 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 bah. Bah, 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 bah. Bruh. Bruh. What the heck? You ruined my intro. Okay, I guess I'll just go away. It's fine. It's fine. You guys don't want me here. Bah. Oh hey, look at that. I'm here. What's up? Hey. Hello everybody and welcome to my stream where I do cringe and wonderful things. I am your host, Arsalatus. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Australia, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? Hope everyone's doing fantastic on this Tuesday. Unless you're in the future, then it may be, Thursday, or wait, no. Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday is after Tuesday, if you're living in the future. Because, like, reasons and stuff, probably. Time to lurk for a long time, have a wonderful stream. My day is terrible. Oh. Stop having terrible days. Stop it. Get some help. You blocker. Oh my god. Meow. Alright, well anyways. I've got videos to watch. And ass to eat. Wait, no, not that second one. Just the videos. Okay. Okay. We're good. I'm just gonna go to the corner. This is my corner. You're not allowed to be here. This is my corner. Okay. Mine. And now we're gonna watch the video. Yay!
So, Kotaku wrote an article about Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade's Eve is hottest when she's not revealing everything. And Stellar Blade, the official account on Twitter, retweeted this.
Yes,
and
I remember
at
this.
that time, Mark Kern says, "What does this mean? Retweeting Kotaku's post about outfits is not a win." Then they undid the retweet, as you can see.
But that's just goofy. I'll show you the real win since Baldy here is too lazy. Today, news came out that in the last 6 months, Google fundamentally changed their search algorithms, virtually destroying entire websites. Notice anything? It is still not clear why Google decided to virtually blacklist these websites, but people are speculating it might be linked to the predatory nature of their advertising.
Advertisements. This is all another
that's
autoplay
fair.
advertisement. Like, there are porn websites from 2001 that have less. This is insane. What is this? What's happening to me?
True.
And that is what happened today. Gamers, we win again.
There's a bird. There's a little cheep. Hello, little cheep. You having a little kip? Little nappy nap? Little sleep? Aww. The bird's awake now. I mean, the bird could have had a nice sleep if you hadn't started, like, manhandling it. Just here to follow and leave. Take care, cat lady. Yeah, that is correct. I am a cat lady. What's up? Thank you for the follow. Little burb. Little burby burb. Man, people should get birds more often. They're pretty cheap. Cheap. Get it? Ha ha ha. Stupid joke. You're welcome. I need to drink more coffee. Little birdie. It has like one feather on the top of its head. That's cute. Are those angry sounds or... Oh, I think Birdie just wants some warm. That's fair. Who wouldn't want some warm? Some warm and some pets. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev
All
here.
right.
So I'm sure a lot of you are already
Rev!
aware of the
Heck
immense
yeah.
level of drama and controversy surrounding Helldivers 2 recently, and I covered some of this in yesterday's video where I went over the backlash that Helldivers 2 and Sony have been facing due to some recent changes they were trying to implement. Now, when I made this title, Helldivers 2 is finished, I was not exaggerating. At the time, things were looking really grim for this franchise. However, I am happy to announce that that narrative has switched in less than 24 hours, and I believe that Helldivers 2 is now saved because Sony admitted defeat and handed gamers a much-deserved W.
Thank
Now,
goodness
before we
for
get
that.
into the recent updates, let's take 1 minute to remind ourselves how we got here. So on May 3rd, Helldivers 2 announced that PC players will have to link their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account to continue accessing Helldivers 2. Now, this was immediately met with negative responses, getting review bombed.
That's for
to the
sure.
point where Helldivers 2 on Steam had an overwhelmingly negative recent set of reviews, and the
Meow.
overall all-time set of reviews was now mixed. Going forward, a lot of players cited their concerns about setting up a PlayStation Network account because Sony has had many data breaches. Also, in order to create a PSN account, you had to live in about, less than 24 countries in the world because the vast majority of countries don't even have access or the ability to create a PSN account in the first place. And on top of that, among the few that can, a lot of countries in Europe, like Germany and the United Kingdom, for example, players would have to submit facial scans or government IDs to create a PSN account. And on top of that,
I'm good.
when players initially bought Helldivers 2 months ago, the rule at Sony did not require players to create a PSN account to link with their Steam account. However, after the May 3rd changes, that rule would also change, saying that you may be required to link your Steam account to a PSN account to play a PC release. Now, despite the absolutely terrible optics of that situation, Sony sucking corporate dick riders would continue to defend Sony and criticize PC gamers for calling out this ridiculous change.
Look, y'all, it's okay to have brand loyalty, but to this extent, like, bruh. If you see a company that's like actively being anti-consumer, you might wanna like readjust your views a little bit.
However, these defenders are taking a massive L, just like Sony is taking a massive L right now. So, last night, PlayStation's official account announced this. Helldiver fans, we've heard your feedback on the Helldivers 2 account linking update. The May 6th update, which would have required Steam and PlayStation Network account linkings for new players and for current players beginning May 30th, will not be moving forward. We're still learning what is best for PC players, and your feedback has been invaluable. Thanks again for your continued support of Helldivers 2, and we'll keep you updated on future plans. Obviously, a huge and deserved W for gamers, and you can see the reception of this has been very, very positive. Only hours into the morning, you can already see the reviews. The recent ones have climbed from almost single digits to 45% mixed, and the overall all-time set of ratings has climbed up to 61% despite being below 50% only yesterday. This was very well received by gamers who feel like their voice was finally heard. Now, before you say, oh, W PlayStation, this isn't a W for PlayStation, this is a W for gamers. PlayStation is simply correcting their own mistakes. And it's like the first step of many they have to do. If there is a mile that PlayStation and Sony has to do to make the reputation better with gamers, this was the first couple of steps. Okay, they have a long way to go to earn the trust back of gamers, and also seeing a large volume of feedback being used to influence Sony into making changes. Wow, that should be encouraging to gamers. What about other games that have been censored, like Stellar Blade? There's petitions out there with tens of thousands of signatures to restore the changes. That might be used as a bargaining chip to make Sony go back on other bad decisions that they made to games like Stellar Blade. Now, of course, just like with the announcement of this account linking change, people are still trying to defend Sony. You see posts like this saying, facts people keep ignoring. Sony created and owns the Helldivers IP. Sony is the only owner in the history of Helldivers. Sony has funded Arrowhead for over 10 years, 8 years with no game released. Therefore, without Sony, you're not playing Helldivers. What is the point that this person's trying to make? You could use the same logic to say Sony doesn't exist without customers, and thank God for once they actually listened. This is very strange astroturfing of these arguments.
Yeah, it's something a lot of people don't realize is that these publishers would not exist without the games that they publish. You can't have a publishing company without games to publish. Granted, it's a lot easier to do publishing for games if you have your own like console or like a platform for them, but man, there's a lot of people that just don't understand how things work.
And another desperate attempt to defend Sony. Now, in the replies, this user raises a good point. So they say this: now, can everyone quit taking this out on the Helldivers 2 devs?
Yes, absolutely. Stop taking it out on them. They're not the ones that were selling the game. Sony is the one that did all of the distribution. Guess what that is? Selling the game. Where it's sold, when it's sold, you know, what countries are able to get it, you know? Sony knew damn well what they were doing. That's why on Steam, they didn't delist it from all of those countries that couldn't create a PSN account. They willfully did that. They were well aware what they were doing. That, my friends, is called fraud.
They ended up in the crossfire for this, and it wasn't fair to them as they were doing
literally
what they
a
were
scam.
Contractually obligated to do. And this is a very fair point. The only thing that the Helldivers 2 devs are responsible for is making a really good game. And it was unfortunate that they got caught in the crossfire, and also ultimately the game they produced is getting negative reviews because of something that Sony is doing. However, beyond just the devs, there's other parties that are responsible at Arrowhead. And we'll talk about the CEO in a minute because I believe that he is somewhat culpable for some of these negative things that have happened. But the main focus should be on the community managers and the mods for Helldivers and Arrowhead who stoked the flames and made this situation so much worse by lashing out at people who had an issue with this account linking change. So we talked a lot about Spitz in this last video I made yesterday. He is a community manager who initially mocked a lot of people who were upset about this account leaking change when it was announced. However, credit where credit is due. While a lot of other community managers privated their account and literally ran away when this crisis was happening, Spitz would admit that they went too far with their previous comments, that they underestimated just how far all of this goes, and then even encouraged gamers to go leave negative reviews on Helldivers 2 to make their voices heard, and even encourage people to request refunds. This was a very bold change. Whether it was authentic or not, at least it took some balls to make this statement and to change their narrative so quickly once they saw the backlash from gamers. However, we're now going to move on from the actions of these community managers to the actions of some Helldivers 2 mods. And we're going to start with Grums here, aka Mark Kern, the same person who's been receiving death threats and bounties on their head for calling out censorship of games like Stellar Blade. He would share this tweet saying this: Helldivers moderator Purple Squid Gion falsely proclaims that I have sexually assaulted many people. Falsely claims I send people to attack their CMs and their families. Currently banning anyone who defends me or even likes a comment that defends me from this slander, and of course adds the related parties and says, are you okay with this? And then says, also, I am not far right. I'm actually left of center, but these radicals have pushed all sanity into a bucket and kicked it off a cliff.
God.
Now let's see what happened here. So here is the he/they mod for Helldivers 2 Purple Squid Gion, and here's their comments responding to someone bringing up Mark Kern's name, where they said this: someone who sexually assaulted many people he worked with, lost his position as CEO, now is a far-right influencer who had people attack more than one of our CMs and their families.
It sounds more like Bobby Kotick than anyone else. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if any former CEO is gonna be sexually assaulting people, it's definitely gonna be Bobby Kotick. 100%.
And they would double down by saying this:
because it wouldn't be the first
anyone
time.
who is a Grums fan, please out yourself so I can help you out the door. This is absolutely insane, by the way. You're a mod for a video game. You are already out of line when you're talking about subjects that have nothing to do with your moderation role. And you're especially out of line when you start using that role to slander someone and accuse them of committing multiple SAs without a single bit of proof, besides also predictably labeling
Hey,
all
how
of
you
your
doing,
enemies
K-Sun
as
KC?
the far right, which is absolutely ridiculous.
I'm doing all right.
This is absolutely wild behavior.
Over on the YouTube.
And you can see people even in the replies on Twitter trying to double down on this. This user saying it's not slander if it's true, where another user says, correct, it's not slander, it's libel. And then the user says, but it's true, where they're asked for proof and they provide none. These people are insane.
What?
And here is
It's almost
Purple
like
Squid Gion doubling
they were
down
lying
when
or
people
something.
say, please do not
Just
slander
vibing and waking up.
strangers in
Fair
public.
enough, fair enough.
Not only is it unprofessional, it is wrong, where the mod says this: slander implies it was a lie. They are literally doubling down on these baseless allegations, okay? We live in a time where you can't simply say, I dislike that person. No, you got to go to the next level and accuse them of multiple crimes. You can't just admit, I don't like this person, I'm going to ignore them, and I'm going to move on. But you
Yeah, this is 100% like the Twitter mentality. Like, anyone that you don't like, you just spew all the craziest shit about. Call them all sorts of names. Say that they're, like, assaulters and stuff. Like, anyone that disagrees with you on the internet, guess what? Oh, they're a bad person. Ooh, you better stay away from them. Yeah, that's totally sane.
got to go to such extremes to validate your own agenda. And you know what? I understand the both financial cost and the time cost of filing a lawsuit. But man, I can't wait for one of these people to reap what they sow in these situations, because they are doing everything in their power to make it very clear that they are publicly defaming someone, and they're very confident about it. And they're showing with this right here that they have the intent to make these claims out there. It's crazy. But going forward, Grums would also report that the mention of his name is now banned in the Helldivers Discord, and they are trying to blame him as a part of this PR mess that they created for themselves. It began with the attempt for Sony to make this whole account linking situation, but it was exacerbated by these community managers and mods who are saying all of this completely crazy stuff. Now, returning to this reply to the PlayStation tweet, remember we talked about not taking this out on the Helldivers 2 devs, but also the CEO had a small role in the mess of this situation. And we're going to go through some of their replies on social media, and it will show that they definitely were aware and having to deal with Sony's ridiculous request, and maybe they didn't handle it the best they could, but I will also commend them for their honesty in this situation. So,
oh, they're from Reddit. That also makes sense, yeah.
Creative director of Helldivers 2.
Also, hi, Mr. Jiggle, how you doing?
User saying PlayStation Network isn't supported by my country. What do I do? They simply replied, I don't know. That's how bad things were less than 24 hours ago. You
Yeah.
have the CEO of Arrowhead literally saying, I don't know what to do. That is really bad. Honest, but shows a very grim
Got
picture
PT in a
at the
few
time.
hours. Hey,
Also,
I wish
when
you the best of
asked
luck.
about this screenshot,
Make sure that you take like good stuff to hydrate with, right? And maybe like a light snack. Like, I don't know, some dried apples or something. But most importantly is like a nice sports drink. Get your electrolytes. Because that training, ooh, that's going to be rough. But I wish you the best of luck.
that one of the community directors was saying basically that this was always a part of the plan. Well, they say that they preferred if this was optional, but there was more to this, and they would admit that they had some blame in this situation. So the CEO says, I do have a part to play. I am not blameless in all of this. It was my decision to disable account linking at launch so that players could play the game. I did not ensure players were aware of the requirement, and we didn't talk about it enough. We knew about it 6 months before launch that it would be mandatory for online PlayStation titles. So here you have the CEO of Arrowhead admitting that they knew this account linking requirement was going to happen eventually, and they've known about it for months, but they didn't say anything or didn't make a big enough effort to make players aware of this. That is not good. I think that is shady behavior, and they did it to sell more titles. Obviously. Okay? Were they correct when they said that they would sell less games if players knew about this upcoming account linking feature? Of course.
Yeah,
Less people
absolutely.
would buy the game. And they decided to basically bury their head in the sand and act like this was going to go away. I think, personally, that the CEO just hoped that eventually Sony would see the success of Helldivers 2, and when this date finally approached in May, where this account link would happen, they would give Helldivers 2 a pass. And they would say, you know what, forget it. The game's going so well, we're not going to move forward. But finally, that date did arrive, and Sony doubled down and said, nope, we're going forward with it, just like you knew about 6 months ago. Now, I will say I appreciate the honesty and the professionalism of some of these replies from the CEO. I will say that, because honestly, 99% of people in his position wouldn't have said anything. They didn't have to. And honestly, they would have gotten away with it if these changes still were announced last night by Sony and these things went back, these account linking changes. Nobody would have known about the fact that the CEO knew about this months ago. But they were honest on Twitter, and maybe it's against their best interest, but I think it showed at least a level of responsibility and accountability here. And
Clearly, he was doing all of this for Super Earth. Absolutely.
they would also have a similar response when asked by Savvy here about this whole linking situation and knowing about it 6 months ago. And they gave, again, a very reasonable and honest response to this question that is asking about some things that make them look bad. And of course, seeing this very professional and just reasonable series of interactions, a question and a polite answer.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Mr. Jiggle. Being honest and respectful to like everyone instead of just like ghosting them. Man, this dude is goated.
The
Oh no,
Kotaku
Alyssa.
editor Alyssa would be fuming.
Ew.
She made this subtweet this morning saying, "Don't love to see the Arrowhead CEO replying to the same woman who thinks the United Nations is making your games woke and is making Pepe Sylvia boards about it. If more people were full-throated talking about these chuds, maybe that would not happen." I don't know what she's trying to say with this last part. It sounds very weird. But yeah, the UN is definitely attacking video games. We know this. And also, Alyssa is mad because Sylvia was the one responsible for making the board linking all of the connections, both government and alike, that companies like Sweet Baby Inc. are involved with. She did the research. Imagine being a journalist who's mad that someone is doing your job better than you and actually doing research to discover just how much government backing companies like Sweet Baby Inc. have.
Holy crap! A journalist actually doing journalism! Whoa! Yeah, of course she would be mad about that, because Alyssa Marquand doesn't do any journalism.
This is embarrassing and another example of people living rent-free in her head. And Savvy would reply, sharing a screenshot of Alyssa's tweet saying, for the record, she has an issue with a CEO saying thank you to me for the civil questions. If you'd recall, her own questions towards a different CEO were met with the CEO saying she misrepresented him this weekend. That is something I talked about in a recent video as well, if you want to check that out. And she would go on saying, I'm not sure what full-throated means, and I honestly don't want to know what, I don't know what chuds are, but if you're a writer with such a limited vocabulary where all you can do is hurl insults, I'm really not concerned about your opinion. Are you calling for harassment for me, all because I ask questions? Why would full-throated talking about these chuds stop someone from speaking to me? Doesn't sound very inclusive. Also, here's the thing too, like if you're confused what chuds means at this point, it just means anyone these people don't like. You're a chud, just like you're also a Nazi and probably a Zionist at this point. All of these things, right? They're just watered down buzzwords at this point. But also this whole thing about getting mad about asking a question. Imagine being a journalist, being mad about people asking questions. That is your entire existence as a journalist, is to ask questions. And here you have someone asking a question and getting a fair and productive response, and you're jealous and angry. It's so sad. But moving forward, returning to Mark Kern here, we should learn something from this situation with Sony and Helldivers 2. They said, we have looked at your large volume of feedback, and we are taking that to heart, and we are going to make changes. How does that apply to Stellar Blade? Well, here we have a petition, which I believe has over 80,000 signatures at this point, with the hopes of reverting censorship of this game.
That's a lot of signatures.
That is a great bargaining chip, and we should push once again to not forget about Stellar Blade and try to get these changes once again reverted, as people were promised with the uncensored release of this game. And also, as Vera points out here, don't give Sony the pass. This isn't Sony's great victory. This is a small step in the right direction. There's still tons of concerns listed here, beginning with Stellar Blade and other recent things, but historical ones, especially involving the Crunchyroll and Funimation mergers and other games that have been censored in recent years. This is just the beginning, and this should be encouraging to people.
What the hell is that third one? PlayStation wants to split games into multiple purchases totaling $150? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Nah. No, absolutely not. What the hell, Sony? What is wrong with you? Hi, Funimation Crunchyroll merger leads to hundreds of purchases disappearing. Sony slammed by indie devs for over insane fees, terrible policies, and bad communication. PlayStation accounts randomly banned by Sony, and they don't care. Players lose all their games. That's another problem I see with the digital gaming. Like, at any moment, for any reason, you can just lose your account. Yes, this includes your Steam account. Like, if you lose your account, you lose all of your games attached to that account. There's, like, almost no way to get that account back, usually. It's really messed up. Censorship ripple effect killed Lisa Definitive Edition. Cult classic altered due to Sony. Graphic content removed from Martha is Dead on PlayStation due to Sony demands. Forced devs to censor and change 20 ladies game to 20 bunnies. What? Doki Doki Literature Club censored as Sony gets stricter with anime violence. Okay. Wait. I sense a theme here. Oh, that's the real reason why Stellar Blade was censored. Because it's got an anime sort of aesthetic. It's more of an anime aesthetic than like a realistic aesthetic. That's why it was censored. Because they're getting stricter with anime violence. That makes sense now. I'm very protective of my Steam account. It has an estimated worth of like 3K last I checked. Oh, Fair enough. Wasn't there a site to like check the worth of your Steam account? Steam account worth. Steam calculator and Steam ID finder. Yeah, you can just like here's the link. I'll put it in chat if you want to calculate the value of your Steam account. Profile URL or Steam ID. I think my Steam ID is actually Hitoshireru. Hold on, let me profile. I think this will work. Alright, my account value is apparently $1,367. Yeah. Hours on record, 32,000. Well, that's not entirely accurate because, like, SoundPad... Like, literally half of that is from SoundPad because I just kept it open. Average playtime, 110 hours. Again, that's not accurate. Today's prices. Prices of this user's products if they were bought today, including discounts. $33.95. What the heck? Bruh. My account is 13.7 years old. Wow. Alright. Oh! Wow, Mr. Jiggle, that's a lot. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, yo. Interesting, but crazy. Oh, there's some stuff on my wish list that's on sale. Hold on, I'm checking it. Nothing I really want right now. Have 680 account games linked to your account. Holy crap. I don't have nearly that much. Like, maybe half of that. Anyways.
And yeah, you should view this as an opportunity to make your voices heard to Sony and make them start listening. It's in Sony's best interest to listen to people who are voting and making their opinions shared with their wallets and their negative reviews. But
Gaming's
for
your
now,
primary
that is
hobby.
going to do it for this video.
That's
this
fair.
is obviously a great situation for PC players.
Gaming used to be my primary hobby, but like, now I'm poor. Well, poorer. That's not entirely accurate. How do I explain? It was a lot easier to do gaming when there weren't so damn many games. Like, I primarily did my gaming in like PS2 era mostly. Like that's the era I played the most console games, right? And soon after that, it became the PC era for me because then all I was playing was like MMOs, right? From like I think actually Dreamcast was the end of my console era, kind of, because like I played the shit out of Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast, and man, the amount of hours I put into that game, absolutely disgusting. And like after that, I just kind of went with MMORPGs on the PC. Like I played a lot of Ragnarok Online, EverQuest, World of Warcraft, Eden Eternal, Wakfu. Like, man, the sheer amount of hours I put into those looks just crazy. Grew up in the 360 era, still have your OG 360 and games for it. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I've still got a 360 and my games for it. I never had a lot of games for it because there weren't really a lot of RPGs that like I wanted to play. Like the only one I can even remember is like Blue Dragon, right? Y'all remember Blue Dragon? It's another Akira Toriyama title. Yeah. It was actually pretty dope. Played a mix of racing, FPS, and RTS. Fair enough. Fair enough. Then Skyrim. Ah, yes, the classic Elder Scrolls games. Yes. Because everyone owns Skyrim. Yeah, everyone does own Skyrim. Many people on multiple platforms. And multiple consoles.
And Helldivers 2 players alike. And as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
4 copies? Holy crap. Unusual memes! He didn't catch it. Oh. Yeah, that seems about right. Oh! Bruh.
Just wanted to give you the short.
I look like Judy B. Jones right now.
That cat. What? What the heck? Oh. Yikes. That's not a cat.
Midna.
Kitty, no! Kitty, no! That was a lemur? Was it? Bro.
Dude, OSHA fired me because of my creative genius, but look at this makeshift ladder.
Oh.
Hey, you're gonna break the patio.
Well, she was right. Is this a game? Okay, so it's a game where they kiss each other's cheeks until they accidentally kiss each other's mouths. That was cute. That was a cute game. That was cute. Yo, that pasta looks bussin'. Let's get a better frame. Yo, I would eat that. Got some nice broccoli in there, probably some chicken. Nice white sauce. Yeah. Heck yeah. Nah, it's either got like Italian dressing or a white sauce on it. Do it, do it, do it. Guys are so dumb, it's great. That's not funny. That's literally tampering with someone's food. Y'all, stop doing that shit. You're ruining someone's day for a meme. That's not cool. Oh, that dude just ate shit. That cat was so adorable. Oh my god. Oh, I wish I had that individual video that I could like send it to people. Oh my god. Holy crap. That was a hell of a cast. Well, he messed that up. The right way online, you can get hella distance. Oh. Oh! Wait. Really? That's so dumb. I've
Сделай заднее сальто. Как ты делал?
Happened to her? Yo, he did his flip. Oh. Bro. What? Huh? Go from making a skateboard video to suddenly there's a boat on fire over there? What the heck? What? Huh?
What's this called then, this latest car?
Called a Range Rover.
A Range Rover. You need a water heater installed. What could possibly go wrong with that? What did you think was gonna happen?
What happened to your bike, bro? Bro, I left it here for 5 minutes.
That's totally not dangerous at all. Oh, please don't mess it up. Oh. Pringle size.
Pringle can with the beer in it, with the championship ring. My guy is getting
Bruh.
How about you drinking tonight, Jonah? Nothing, brother. I'm sober.
Oh heck. Why? Kitty. Oh. Wait, did that just crack the screen? Oh my goodness. Okay, it's not, I don't think it's a cracked screen. I think it's just like grease from the paws. Holy crap. No, it might actually be a cracked screen. Oh my goodness. Well, you F-A-F-O. You F around, you find out.
Right now. Come on. Right now. What do you want? Why are you harassing me? I want you.
In 2004, breakdancers got down at the Vatican before Pope John Paul II.
Can y'all stop wasting food? Please? Like, bruh. What? Were they grilling in a bus? Did I see that correctly? What? What? Huh? What? They do have a pool. What the heck? All that beer too? Holy crap. Jeez. This must be, this has to be like someone's private vehicle. It has to be like, look at this shit. They've got a whole ass pool. They've got like 6 cases of beer. They're doing a barbecue. Like, what the heck? What? Also, hi, Jacko. How you doing? I don't know where it is. What? That dude has a nice cock. Get it? Cause it's a chicken? Funny joke.
Is this your chicken?
Oh, classic. Ayo. Get down, big boy. Get down. Oh, he got down. Uh-oh. Bruh, that dude has anger issues. Welcome to memes. That absolutely was Zoomer humors. Like, well, okay, sure.
Hey, turn the AC off.
Okay. Ah, this is another classic.
Look at these tiles. They're all green and blue and stripy. I enjoy green and
That dude is not okay. That dude is not okay. Also, that's yellow and blue.
blue stripy tiles. Yeah, dog.
Who made these brownies? Holy crap.
Who made these brownies?
Captain Sparkle's dead at 30.
What?
Captain Sparkle's dead at 30.
I see. Rat! Look at that little rat. Little rat with a big old sniffer. Cute! Cute, 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 cute. Rats are so cute. I love rats. Rats, rats, where are the rats? Yay! Good stuff. Angie frogs. Oh. Wow, Turok. Wow. Rude. Get him, frogs. Get him. How you doing, Turok? Yeah, get him, frogs. Get him. Frogs are awesome.
My name's Scott.
Watch this.
Oh, this is a long one. This is a long video. How the US is destroying young people's future. I mean, not wrong, but let's see what this video is all about. 46 minutes. This video is 46 minutes long. So if you don't think you can sit for that long, you might want to like get your ablutions out of the way. You know, go to the bathroom. Maybe get a snack, because this is going to be a bit. This is basically the length of 2 episodes of anime, or like half a movie, or like 1 episode of a lot of Netflix shows. Right? That sounds about right. Yeah. Anyways, to the video.
Guy on, like, it was like CNN, and I really liked what he was saying, and so apparently he did a TED Talk, and it's been linked to me a lot.
NYU, and I appreciate your time. I have 44 slides in 720 seconds. Let's light this candle. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm actually a global television store. True story. I've had 4 TV series in the last 3 years. 2 of them have been canceled before they were launched, and 2 were canceled within 6 weeks. Let's recap.
If we want to juice this thing, if we want to put a cattle prod up the ass of the economy.
Damn.
Bloomberg, the most trusted name in financial news. Not for long.
I'm going to do whatever I can.
That guy's in shape, man. That's impressive.
Yeah.
For this country.
Yeah.
Good looking old man.
Jeez, come on, dude. You're 0 for 2. Are you stuck?
He's jacked, yeah.
Face for podcasting. So first in.
Have you ever noticed that, like, when an older dude is, like, absolutely jacked, they're, like, a lot more attractive? I don't know. Maybe it's, like, the Master Roshi effect. You know how, like, when he's got, like, all the muscles out, he's, like, actually pretty hot? Or is that just me? You know what? I'll just shut up. I'll just shut up.
Side of the day, I'd like to be the first person to welcome you to the last head. Okay. By the way, it's clear, what's it called? What are we here for? The Brave and the Brilliant. It's clear that Chris is a frustrated soap opera producer. Essentially what we have here is a telenovela where after a night of unbridled passion between Bill Gates and Malcolm Gladwell, they give birth to their bastard love child, Simon Sinek.
I have no idea what's going on.
I start us with a question. Do we love our children?
No.
Sounds like an illegitimate question, right?
No.
Well, I'm going to try and convince you otherwise.
Yeah.
Essentially, as we go down generations, we're seeing that for the last 2 generations, people are making less money.
You ever notice that, like, every time any politician has an argument force something, they're all like, do it for the children. We gotta think of the children, right? Seems like these days the only ones actually thinking about the children is the Catholic priests. Anyways.
On an inflation-adjusted basis. In addition...
The 14-17-42? That's real bad. That's crazy.
The cost of buying a home, the cost of pursuing education continues to skyrocket. So the purchasing power, the prosperity is inversely correlated to age. Simply put, as we get younger, we're taking away opportunity and prosperity from our youngest. The social contract that is now no longer in place...
Yeah, this is why kids hate capitalism, by the way.
True.
It's like if you're growing up and you're like 19... and the only way that you can go and, you know, go to college is if you take out a fucking blood pact, a Faustian pact with the debt devil for $60,000 so you can finally, after 4 years, get a job working at Starbucks. Yeah, man, like maybe communism isn't so bad. I mean, really, if you look at it from their perspective, it makes a lot of sense.
First time in the U.S.'s history, a 30-year-old is no longer doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. This is a breakdown in the fundamental agreement we have with any society, and it creates rage and shame. As a result, people over the age of 55 feel pretty good about America, but less than 1 in 5 people under the age of 34 feel very good about America.
Parents in the U.S. adults are extremely proud to be American. Well, I'm part of that 18%. I think America is the greatest country ever. I'm very proud to be part of this country, even though I think there's a lot of things that are wrong with it.
This creates an incendiary. Righteous movements, cuts to our society end up becoming opportunistic infections, because generally speaking...
I mean, he did have a good point there. Like, given the... how to put it? There are a lot of problems with America, but because of who I am, right? If I were to be in any other country, probably just about, I would probably be absolutely screwed. Like, honestly, like, I don't know what to say. Like, as much of the problems I have with America, and like knowing all of the problems that I have with America and like politics and shit. Yeah, I'd rather be here than somewhere else, because if I were anywhere else, like I probably wouldn't be able to live my current lifestyle. Like, I probably wouldn't even be able to stream.
And young people have a warranted envy. They're pissed off and they're angry that they don't enjoy the same spoils and prosperity that were provided to our generation.
I think also with like social media, it like reminds younger people all the time that they're losers.
True.
It's like one thing if you're like 19 and you're barely making it, but every time you pull up social media, there's like a bunch of other people that are like your age that are like millionaires buying like a new house or something like that, because they are playing Fortnite, or it's like some OnlyFans girl or something like that. Again, you know, let's go back to communism. You know, let's take away women's right to vote. Let's be a fucking incel. You know, like that's how it happens. It does. It happens.
A decent proxy for how much we value youth labor is minimum wage. And
hey, what's up, Cruiser? How you doing?
Well. Just kept pace
I'm on the
YouTubes.
YouTubes.
About 23 bucks
How's my day? Oh, it's a day. That's for sure.
Low. Out of reach. Median home price has skyrocketed relative to median household
How's
income.
your day?
As a result, pre-pandemic, the average mortgage payment was $1,100. It's now $2,300.
Look how it was in 1985. That's crazy. I wonder what it's going to be like in 2030. I'm sure it'll be better, right, guys?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it can't keep going like this forever.
Acceleration in interest rates, and the fact that the average home has gone from $290,000 to $420,000. By the way, the most expensive homes.
I remember, like, you know what was so crazy? Is that in, like, 2017, I remember going over to Mitch and Train's apartment, and I remember they were paying, like, $3,000 for the apartment. And I was like, what the fuck? That is so much money. And just in like less than 10 years, that's become normal.
In the world, based on this metric, are number 3 Vancouver. Why? Because
Does it mean
60%
Austin?
of the cost of building a home goes to permits. Because guess what? The incumbents that own assets have weaponized government to make it very difficult for new entrants to ever get their own assets, thereby elevating their own net worth. This is the transfer I'm going to be speaking about. This has resulted in an enormous transfer of wealth, where people over the age of 70 used to control 19% of household income, versus people under the age of 40 used to control 12. Their wealth has
Jesus,
been
that's
cut
terrible.
in half.
Holy fuck. That is... Wow. Boomers gotta go, man.
It isn't by accident. It's purposeful. This is
It also makes a lot of sense because people just live longer these days. Like with the medical advancements, technological advancements, it makes sense that people live a lot longer. That's just how it is. And for better or for worse, that's also one of the reasons why things aren't going so well for young people.
at UCLA in 1987. I know your first thought.
Man. I have pictures of myself with a lot of hair, too.
He looks like such a dork.
That sucks.
Is I haven't changed a bit.
Yeah.
This is also Mia Silverio, who is the analyst who put together these slides. By the way, Mia is 26. I did the math. Just by virtue of her being in this audience, it brings the average age of the entire conference down 11 days. When I applied to UCLA...
Yeah, everybody here is fucking old as shit. Like, look at this. Like, yeah, look. Yeah. Bro, there's no way this dude is not subscribed to AARP. Come on.
The admissions rate was 76%.
Yeah.
Today, it's 9%. I received a 2.23 GPA from UCLA. I learned nothing but how to make bongs out of household items in every line from Planet of the Apes. And the greatest public school in the world, Berkeley, decided to let me in with a 2.27 GPA.
Wow.
Wrong.
2.27. Damn. 2.2? I mean, I had it in high school. I was a 2.4.
Higher ed is about.
I had a
Higher ed is
really
about
bad
taking
GPA as well.
Unremarkable kids and giving them a shot at being remarkable.
Yeah.
And every year, it's gotten more expensive.
I mean, he probably was the same as me, maybe, where, like, I got, like, pretty much perfect scores on my standardized tests, but I just wouldn't do my work at school because I didn't care. Like, that's what happened for me.
Yeah, homework is the absolute worst. Like, I hate homework. I always hated homework. I always will hate homework. You know why? Because they make you do it at home. It's absolutely stupid. Like, think about it. These schools are telling you to do all of your work at home. Like, aren't the schools being paid to teach you, like, at school? Shouldn't... I feel like... Okay, so here's what I believe. I believe that classes should give you time to do your homework in class. Right? Just do all of your work in class. All the shit that you learned, do it in class. Why? Because not everyone has, like, a state of mind to be able to do all of that shit out of class. For example, when I was taking French class in high school, right? My senior year of high school, if I didn't get to finish my homework by the end of class, there was a significantly lower percentage that I would be able to do it outside of class, right? Because I have this sort of mentality where homework is for home stuff, school is for school stuff, right? When you're at home, you do home stuff. You play your games, you run around, be silly, do whatever, right? And when you're at school, it's all serious. You got to do all of your school stuff. That's how I feel. When everyone is forced to do all of their work at home, and even worse, in college. College is absolutely awful. Because not only are you expected to do all of your work at home, you're also expected to basically teach yourself. Because more than half of the shit that's in those books, you have to learn yourself. They don't actually teach it in class. I had maybe one class where I was actually taught what would be on the tests. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I hated that shit. I do not have the type of mind that can just teach myself to do shit. Especially not when it's not interesting to me. I hate that shit. A school is for learning. College is for learning. If you're not going to teach what's going to be on the tests that you'll be graded for, what are you even doing?
Higher ed and homes, and the ability, not only is higher ed incredibly expensive, it's not accessible. Because me and my colleagues are drunk on luxury.
Hi, Twex.
We've embraced
Ya
the
baka.
ultimate strategy. Me and my colleagues in higher ed wake up every morning and ask ourselves the same question when we look in the mirror.
Oh, these are the things, guys, that people that shouldn't be spending money love to spend money on. Oh man, like if somebody has money problems, guaranteed they've got one of these. Yep.
The idea of brand names, honestly, is really stupid. It's really stupid. 99% of those things are made with common goods. And it's just priced up for the sake of being priced up. Just because it's a fancy brand. Don't waste your money on brand name bullshit. If you really, really want that look, get an off-brand that looks the same. Most of the time, it's significantly cheaper and sometimes even has better quality.
Look in the mirror. How can I increase my compensation while reducing my accountability? And we have found the ultimate strategy. It's called an LVMH strategy, where we artificially constrain supply to create aspiration and scarcity such that we can raise tuition faster than inflation. And old people and wealthy people have done the same thing with housing. All of a sudden, once you own a home, you become very concerned with traffic, and you make sure that there's no new housing permits. And here is a memo to my colleagues in higher ed. We're public servants, not fucking Chanel bags.
Hey!
Harvard.
He's right. He's fucking right.
True.
Is the best example of this. They've increased
Trex, you didn't answer. How are you?
40 years and have decided to expand their enrollment for freshman class by 4%.
Huh. So where's all that money go? That's
Good
a
question.
lot of money. Where'd the money go?
Any university
Went to the football team, of course. Candy
doesn't grow
Crush,
their
yeah.
freshman class faster than population that has over $1 billion in endowment should lose their tax-free status because they're no longer
You're
in
good?
higher education.
I thought you were
They're a hedge
Trex.
fund offering classes.
I'm doing all right.
My first recommendation, Biden should take some of that $750 billion earmark to bail out the 1/3 of people that got to go to college on the backs of the 2/3 that didn't.
I see, Trex. I understand where your brain is right now. It's okay. We've all been there.
And give $1 billion to our 500 greatest public institutions, size adjusted, in exchange for three things. One, they use technology and scale to reduce tuition by 2% a year, expand enrollments by 6% a year, and increase the number of vocational certifications and non-traditional four-year degrees by 20%.
Oh, this is too good of an idea. This isn't going to happen. There's no way. There's no way they could do this. Yeah, there's no way.
Where does that get us?
Yeah.
In just 10 years, that doubles the freshman seats and cuts the cost in half.
Oh, you're farming. Hey, there's this site you can go to, onlyfarmers.com. It's a dating site for farmers.
This is called college.
You'll find lots of hoes there.
Another transfer of wealth.
Yeah, I remember my mom said that like whenever she was going to classes, it was like less than $100 to go to a class. And this was like probably in like the 60s and like early 70s, I guess, because she was born in 50. So yeah.
Yeah, and nowadays you'll be lucky if you find a used book for one of your classes for under $100. Most of them, they put out a new book just about every year just so they can make additional money off of you. And honestly, it's shameful. You don't need a new book every year, every other year, especially for a subject that like barely changes. Like look at language classes like English, French, Spanish. You're not going to need a new book every other year. No. Like maybe every 5-10 years. Language does not update that often. Now, if it's something like American history or like history in general, I would say probably every 3 to 5 years, because history is constantly being written. You don't need to get new books for philosophy. There haven't been any new philosophers in quite a while. Now cooking is something I'd understand if it was like every other year or every year. What about like computers? Computer and computer hardware. That I could definitely see like every other year, because tech is constantly changing. Engineering, maybe every other year. Probably 3 to 5 years, I'd say. You don't need to update the books all that often. Anyways.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Not anymore? Yeah, I know. I was paying $4K a class. How much is each class for you guys, and what school do you go to? Or did you go to? If this is in the last 5 years. Or what year was it? 0? Yeah, there you go. 20 to 30, California. In Canada, it's 4K a class, 1K euro, 12K a year. 3K per year, 1K per year, 3.5K per semester, 2K over 2K per class. Man. Oh God. That's a big number.
Yeah, education is expensive.
Oh. Wow.
Look at what's happened to wages. Oh, they've gone up. Not as much as corporate profits.
These days, if you want to be educated, the easiest thing you can do is just go online. There are plenty of videos online, especially on YouTube, that you can use to basically just teach yourself. Granted, you need to be, like, mentally capable of, like, teaching yourself, but it is possible. The only difference is that you don't get a degree. That's literally the only reason you would go to college, to get a degree. It's that fancy little piece of paper that proves you know what you're talking about.
There's a healthy tension
That's
between
crazy. Look at that.
capital and labor. For the last 40 years, capital has been kicking the shit out of labor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you think, whoa, what about wages, right? They've gone up. Well, if you compare them to the S&P, they barely register. It's been an...
Wow.
Oh my God. Look at that. It used to be... Bro, I thought he wasn't done. Wow. Invest in the
Holy
stock
crap.
market? Yeah, I guess so. No, I didn't even see it. Yeah, I thought he wasn't like, okay, so where's the other one? Yeah, I thought that was the axis. Exactly.
Amazing time to own assets, but your attempt to get the certification or the income such that you can acquire assets has gotten harder and harder. In my class of 300 kids, it's never been easier to be a billionaire. It's never been harder to be a millionaire. By the way, Our job in higher ed isn't to identify a top 1% of people who are freakishly remarkable or have rich parents and turn them into a superclass of billionaires. It's to give the bottom 90 a chance to be in the top 10. You know?
I think that's actually a really good point that he's making, is that if you can't have hope, then what's the point in trying?
True.
And I think that's why a lot of young people hate society and they want to have like a revolution and they're like, burn it all down. I hate everything. The reason why is because there's actually no hope. And like for a long time, and of course, always the odds are stacked against you. And of course, always there are people who rise above the current challenges and they're able to make a lot of money. Even this year, tons of people were able to make that American dream come true.
In other words, what we need is a new hope. That's right. Get out Star Wars Episode 4 and study that shit.
However, it's a lot harder to do now in a lot of ways, and it's less common, and you need to be more exceptional. It's not like, you know, for example, you go and you think about a lot of like old TV shows, and like, I think if you go and you watch like a sitcom from like the 70s or the 80s, a lot of time, like the dad in the sitcom is the only person in the sitcom that's making any money. And he just works at some random fucking place. And they've got a whole house. They're able to send the kids to college. They own 2 cars. And maybe they even have a boat. You know, yeah, Al Bundy, Homer Simpson. Look at that. And so even in popular culture, this is known to be true. And nowadays, what kind of shows do we have now? Well, we have Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Back in the day, back before all of this bullshit, it was always about the American dream, the American dream, the American dream. Like always being portrayed as having like a wife and kids, a car, a nice house, white picket fence, you know, all of that. Nice big yard. Like, nah, you can't do anything close to that nowadays. Nowadays, you'll be lucky if you could live out of a storage unit. Like, holy crap. Things have gotten so redonkulous. The price of living is insane. It's no wonder why one of George Carlin's most famous quotes is, "It's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it." It's no wonder. Rest in peace, George Carlin. You were a legend. You will be missed.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think that says a lot. Yeah, it's pretty problematic, isn't it, Peter Griffin? Yeah, look at even that. Yeah, it's time to start cooking, guys. And I think that's what happens with a lot of young people, is that they basically feel like they can't, like there's no future. I know that whenever I was, let's say, 20, this is definitely the way that I felt. I felt like, oh, there's no way that you're going to be able to rise above this because there's so many structural things that are just so oppressive.
You know who doesn't need me or higher education? The top 10%.
Yeah.
The whole point of higher ed is to give the unremarkables, i.e. yours truly, who was raised by a single immigrant mother, a shot of being remarkable.
Yeah, of course.
The transfer has been purposeful. While the cohorts, corporations...
And I think also another reason for higher education is to have an educated public. So a really good example of why an educated public matters is because of the fact that flat Earth is becoming more popular. And you can think of the most schizo, stupid, dumb fuck thing that you can ever imagine. And if you post it on Twitter, there'll be people like, yeah, that's... See, I've been thinking that. You see, birds, they ain't real, is they? No, I knew they weren't. Yeah, you see how they move their head? That's fake. For real, like, oh, we can't have wind turbines because
people are
all the
actually
birds.
dumb.
There's people that believe that shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb people.
That. And the reason why is because they're not educated. They're fucking stupid.
True.
They never had the opportunity for it. Politicians hate an educated public. Yes. Like,
It's surprising they even know how to read.
Go this far, but I think I would. to say that I think that it is intentional that the voting public and the average public user or citizen is intentionally uneducated. And I think that, for example, it is intentional that we don't learn statistics in high school. We're teaching algebra 2 and not statistics, because statistics will help people realize they're getting fucked over a lot more easily than algebra will. That's what I think. Maybe I'm crazy, okay? Hey, maybe I'm crazy, but it sure seems like it'd be beneficial. So maybe it's happening on purpose.
And the ultra wealthy continue to garner more and more of our wealth.
Yeah.
We have decided, I know, if they win the gold, let's give them the silver and the bronze and let's lower their taxes.
Ooh.
This transfer is purposeful. It's not by accident.
Yeah.
And it works. Senior poverty is way down, and we should celebrate that. Meanwhile, child poverty is flat to up.
Oh, that's bad. That's kind of bad. I mean, it's not awful, right? But I mean, it's not great.
The third rail, I'm going to talk about Social Security. It would cost $11 billion to expand the child tax credit, but that got stripped out of the infrastructure bill. But the additional $135 billion a year to Social Security, that flies right through Congress. And every year we transfer one.
That's because guess who votes? The children vote, or the people on Social Security vote? It's crazy how this shit happens, huh? How does this happen? It's a mystery.
$0.4 trillion from a cohort that is increasingly doing less well to the cohort that is the wealthiest cohort in the history of this planet. I'm not against Social Security, but the criteria should be if you need it, not whether you have a catheter. 80% of you have absolutely no reason to ever take Social Security. It is bankrupting our nation, and we have fallen under this mythology that somehow it's this great social program. No, it's not. It's the great transfer of wealth from young to old.
Less claps from that one.
Oh, what a coincidence.
You know, I wonder why. Why would that possibly happen? It must be, it's a mystery. Yeah, the only people clapping are, yeah.
Oh,
she's
mysterious.
Clapping. She's probably like, like 37 or something, 20, 28. Exactly. I don't necessarily think that Social Security is a bad thing. I don't think that we should take it away from Social Security. I think that we should take it away from, like, I don't know, like military expenditures. Like, I'd rather gut making bombs and tanks than Social Security. And then after you do that, then maybe we can talk about Social Security. That's my perspective.
How is this happening? Yeah. Because our representatives are, in fact, representatives.
Both? Yeah, but start with the other one first. Yeah,
Washington has become a cross between the land of the dead and the Golden Girls.
Oh, God.
Washington
is median age of U.S. Congress?
Become a cross between...
Oh, my God. So the median age in the Senate is 65?
Bruh.
Which, well, yeah, I guess that's probably not a surprise. I assume that the average age would probably be a bit lower because there are some young people in Congress and in the House, but yeah, it's still pretty bad.
The land of the dead and the Golden Girls.
Yeah. It's median, not mean.
Quite frankly, this is fucking ridiculous. And if I sound ageist... If I sound ageist, I am. And you know who else is ageist? Biology.
Not wrong.
When Speaker Pelosi had her...
She's 80-fucking-4? Isn't it crazy that her hair isn't gone gray at all? She looks good? Yeah. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I think it's impressive that she's still going, man. Like, for real. Like, it's fucking impressive. It's adrenochrome? Yeah. I guess so.
First child, get this, 2/3 of households didn't have color televisions, and Castro had just declared martial law. But she's
oh my God.
supposed to understand the challenges of a 17-year-old girl who's 5'9", 95 pounds, getting tips on dieting and extreme dieting from Facebook. She's supposed to understand the challenges that a 27-year-old single mother face.
Yeah.
By the way, young and dreamy. Young and dreamy.
Yeah, 52.
The great intergenerational theft took place under the auspices of a virus. I know. Let's use the greatest health crisis in the century to really speedball the transfer. This is the
y'all should see, like, bro, this COVID shit went crazy.
NASDAQ from 2008 to 2012. We let the markets crash. And by the way, you need churn, you need disruption, because it seeds and recalibrates advantage and wealth from the incumbents to the entrants. It's a natural part of the cycle. But wait, lately, no, 1 million people dying would be bad. But what would be tragic is if we let the NASDAQ go down and guys like me lost wealth. So we pumped the economy, which again increased the massive transfer of wealth. The best 2 years of my life.
Now, I gotta say, I invested a lot of money into stocks at about right here. Yeah. So it was a great time to invest. I think it really was. Yep. It's great. Doing okay then? Yeah, I'm all right.
COVID, more time with my kids, more time with Netflix, and my value of my stocks absolutely exploded. And who has to pay for my prosperity? Not me. Future generations.
Like my dad went from, like, basically he made so much money in this period of time that now every single month he goes positive. And he doesn't work. He just fucking watches TV and fucks around and, you know, calls me on stream to call me an idiot, right? Like, that's basically about it. And yeah, he just goes up and up and up every month because how much money he's made from stocks.
Who will have to deal with an unprecedented level of debt. Why am I here? And why do I deal with an unprecedented level of debt?
Shit.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Why am I here and why do I get the prosperity I enjoy? Because in 2008, we bailed out the banks, but we didn't bail out the economy. We let the markets fall. So as I was coming into my prime income earning years, I got to buy, no joke, these stocks at these prices. This is where those stocks are now. Where does a young person find disruption? When you bail out the baby boomer owner of a restaurant, all you're doing is robbing opportunity from the 26-year-old graduate of a culinary academy that wants her shot. We need disruption. We're economically attacking the young, but I know, let's attack their emotional and mental well-being. Let's take advantage of the fact of the flaws in our species with medieval institutions, Paleolithic instincts, and godlike technology. I'm just going to say, I think Mark Zuckerberg has done more damage to young people in our nation while making more money than any person in history.
I think social media is probably an overall bad thing for a lot of people.
True.
I like social media personally.
Also
I
true.
I am a social media enjoyer. That I am an extreme. Because I see how social media affects a lot of people that I know. And man, they got you fucked up, huh?
Yeah, they do.
Man, they got you all kinds
Oh
of
my
fucked
god.
up. Like, damn, that's crazy. Like, you're gonna get upset about this?
Yeah.
You're gonna get mad? Like, this is bad.
It absolutely is really bad for a lot of people because the human mind was not made for all of this stress, right? It simply was not. People are worrying about things that they have absolutely no control over. Back 100, 200 years ago, people wouldn't even know about all this shit going on around the world, right? And now everyone is worried about this country and that country and the policies over here, the policies over there. People outside America worrying about American policies. People in America worrying about wars that we have no part in. Just saying. Just saying. Maybe you should work on yourself first.
This is a man. Yeah, I mean, like, just don't get it. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Bro doesn't realize it has him fucked up? Nah, bro, like, back whenever I was, like, 14 and shit, I was still a psycho. Like, if you go and you look at, I have videos of myself when I was 14. You go watch those videos. I was a piece of shit. Nothing's changed. Like, there's very few people that can say that. But there's no fucking change. I was an asshole even before social media.
Oh, but wait, what could be worse? It's as if we let an adversary implant a neural jack into our youth to
Talk
raise
about
a
TikTok?
generation of civic, military, and business leaders that hate America. How can
I think that it's not TikTok's fault that, like, I don't agree that it's TikTok's fault that these people hate America, because he just went through 10 or 20 different slides of why people hate America.
True.
That those slides and those graphs are the reason why they hate America, not TikTok. It's just that
Yeah, it's not any specific thing. It's the collection of these things that's the problem, really.
sometimes TikTok shows them a graph.
be this
Yeah, they just
stupid?
pointed it out.
All right, this all adds up to a bunch of graphs all headed up into the
I
right.
love
And
graphs.
What are they? What's the first one? Oh, that's self-harm rates, which have been...
That's kind of bad. Yeah, that's bad. Oh, jeez.
exploded, especially among girls, since my colleague Jonathan Haidt pointed out it's really gone crazy since social went on mobile. What's the next one? Teens with depression.
Ooh.
The next one, men and women not having sex.
Right here is whenever Wrath of the Lich King came out. So I think this graph actually makes a lot of sense.
Not wrong, actually. Not wrong.
Just keep in mind. And right here is about whenever League of Legends came out. Again, makes a lot of sense.
Biggest fear of my parents was that I was going to get in too much trouble. My biggest fear, honestly, is that my kids aren't going to get into enough trouble. By the way, my advice to every young person watching this program is go out, drink more, and make a series of bad decisions that might pay off.
I mean, as awful as it is, like, it's not wrong. Like, if you don't make bad decisions, you're not going to learn from them, right? You have to make bad decisions to learn.
There it is. Yeah, based. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, my parents said the same. They did not give a fuck what I did.
Next graph, cumulative gun deaths. You're more likely to be shot in the United States if you're a toddler or an infant than a cop. Next graph.
Holy crap. That's not wrong. And I hate it. Bro.
Obesity, way up. By the way.
See, this is the thing, man. Is like, I'll see commercials of like, what do you call it? I'll see commercials of like, you know, back in the day, it's like fast food, or like any commercial, like a video of like in the 70s. And everybody was skinny. And then now I go and I see like a video of Walmart, and it's like it's not Wally World, it's just Wally. They're on the carts, man.
Yeah.
They're on the carts. They're trying to pull things down off the carts. Or Golden Corral. But to be fair, Golden Corral was always it was a feeding trough. Probably even back then. But yeah, you're right. Then people aren't the norm anymore? Yeah, like look at this. That's crazy. And that's like fat kids too. 2 to 19. Now, I gotta say something. I think that if your kid is morbidly obese, that's child abuse.
I agree.
That's just the way it is.
The industrial food complex wants to addict you to shitty, fatty food so they can hand you over to the industrial diabetes complex. We should not romanticize obesity. You're not finding your fucking truth. You're finding diabetes.
Yeah.
Not wrong. Not
Yeah.
wrong.
That's a fucking fact. Oh my god, I love this. Yeah, dude, his base as fuck. I know, and this is what people need to hear. Thank God somebody's just talking sense. It's animal abuse for pets? Yeah. Somehow I've defied this logic. I eat usually 1 meal a day and a few extra snacks, and I try to exercise every single day. To be fair, whenever I ate 3 meals a day and I never exercised, I still weighed the same amount, but still.
Dose deaths, way up.
Wait. I wanted to see if that one fat chick in the front was clapping, but apparently it didn't show that frame.
Overdose deaths, way up. Deaths
Yeah.
of despair. When I was in high school, it was
Ooh.
drunk driving. Now it's kids killing themselves.
Yeah.
Young people don't want to have kids anymore. High school, it was drunk driving. Now it's kids killing themselves.
Yeah, I feel like people still do drunk driving. Like, I knew a lot of people whenever I was in, like, I'm trying to think how many people I knew that didn't drive drunk. Jesus. Oh, fuck. Me? I never did. I didn't drink. I don't think I've ever been in a car with Zach that was drinking and driving. So, like, at least 2 people I knew that didn't drink and drive. Drinking and driving right now?
Young people don't want to have kids anymore. 2/3 of people aged 30 to 34 able-bodied used to decide to have at least one child.
Yeah.
It's been cut in half. It's now less than a
Oh
third.
my God. It's because of money, too.
Yep. Absolutely.
27%.
It's just not financially
As
feasible.
a result, people over the age of 60 in the U.S., pretty happy. People under the age of 30, not so much. Some of
Yep.
the lowest in the free world.
Ooh. I'm not surprised that young people are unhappy. I think that, again, like, social media allows people to fucking hate themselves better than almost anything else has. And I think also it's especially true, like, I think that, like, really, like, with girls and guys, it's different, right? But it's not like guys have it easier because, like, as a guy,
Yeah, that's fair, Mr. Jiggle.
seeing other guys on social media, like, with guys, it's like feast or famine, where, like, the top 10% of guys are doing super, super well. And then if you're in the bottom, like, 50%, things aren't very good. Whereas, like, for girls, there's probably a lot of other, like, more nuanced problems you get shit on. Yeah. Yeah, it's the top 10% are getting everything, or everyone in this circumstance. And the bottom 50% are getting anime figurines.
What can we do? Nothing wrong with America that can't be fixed with what's right with it. We got
Yeah.
the hard stuff figured out. There are programs to address all of these issues.
Hi,
that
Officer
cost a lot of money.
Valkyrie.
That's the hard part. And we have figured this out. In just 5 minutes, post an
many
earnings
damn
call, we can add
hoes.
$250 billion
Is
to
that
the
it?
economy. We've got the hard
Wah.
part figured out, the resources.
Yep.
We have the money, but we decide not to do it. This is per capita spending on childcare in the United States relative to other nations.
So per cap public spending on child care, 30K, 24K, 9K, and we're at
1K?
right. Okay.
Holy crap.
Okay.
Bruh.
This is housing permits. Things are doable. We increase minimum wage to $25 an hour. It goes into the economy. The wonderful things about low and middle income households is they spend all their money. We have to have a restore or a progressive tax structure with alternative minimum tax on corporations and wealthy individuals. We need to refund the IRS. We need to reform Social Security. It should be based on whether you need the money, not on how old you are. We need a negative income tax. My friend Andrew Yang screwed up a great idea, but he
He
branded
did fuck up. That guy really fucked up. Holy shit, he fucked up. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, yeah, it's like he said based. Yeah, Andrew, I was a big fan. And I still am.
it incorrectly. Instead of calling it UBI, he should have got Republicans on board by calling it a negative income tax. We need to
That's a good
eliminate the
point.
capital gains tax deduction. When did we decide that the money that capital earns is more noble than the money that sweat earns? Shouldn't it be flipped? We need to remove 230 protection for all algorithmically elevated content.
The 230 protect. Oh, is he gonna explain it?
We need identity verification. The reason we
Okay,
can
yeah, 230 is whenever they're not accountable for the content on there.
have identity verification
Like,
is because we have
social media websites are not accountable for the content that's posted on there because they are a publisher and not a platform. Or sorry, they are a platform and not a publisher.
Right.
First Amendment. Break up big tech. We have monopolies.
What was the second thing you said?
We need identity verification. The reason we can have identity verification is because we have a First Amendment. Break up big.
I think a lot of people are against identity verification for the internet, and I'm like really kind of torn on it. I feel like there's a lot of advantages and there's also a lot of negatives, and I kind of err on the side of not having it personally because I don't trust the people that would have it. Like, in a perfect world, I think identity verification would be the right decision, but I don't think that I could trust people to have the tools for identity verification and not use them maliciously. Privacy is a right? Yeah, I think that it is.
Yeah, I agree to this. Like, on one hand, there's a lot of good things that could be done with identity verification, but on the other hand, like, it can and most certainly would be used maliciously. Like, it's already a big deal when anyone gets doxxed. That's why it's illegal to dox someone on the internet, right? And like, with the amount of shit posting that people do, like, if they were forced to tie that to their identity, on one hand, they would be shit posting a hell of a lot less because your identity is publicly available, right? That means that anyone could just show up at their house for whatever they said on the internet and beat the crap out of them. It's true. Like, it would give incentive for people to be better people, especially on the internet. But it also gets rid of, like, a lot of people's ability to be anonymous. There's things that you can't say or choose not to say because it's tied to your identity, right? And there's also, like, how do I put it? Okay, here's an example of one way it definitely would not work. If we were all forced to use our true identities on the internet, then, like, there basically wouldn't be VTubers anymore. Right? Because pretty much every VTuber, well, more like probably 80 to 90% of VTubers, they don't use their real identity. They're playing a character or something similar, right? So if they're forced to use their real names, then what's the point in being a VTuber? At that point, just do face cam, I guess. I don't know. It feels like there's less point to VTubing if you can't be anonymous. Like, the main reason most people do VTubing is because they can, like, move around and be silly and cute and stuff without having to, like, do their makeup and shit, right? You don't have to worry about taking showers, doing your hair, doing your makeup, looking good for the camera. And if all of your internet identity is tied to your real name, then people can just look up what you look like. And that removes, like, probably more than half of, like, what makes VTubing good. So, yeah, that's how I see the potentiality of real name being tied to internet accounts and stuff.
It would get
Yeah.
rid of minors on the internet? Yeah, no, it would, but so would good parenting.
That's a very good point. Holy crap. Jeez.
So are we going to give up our privacy because people are bad parents? I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not sold on that one.
Tech, we have monopolies that are incurring greater and greater costs on every small business and parents because, again, see above, our representatives don't understand these technologies. We need to age gate social media. There's absolutely no reason anyone under the age of 16 should ever be on social media.
Anyone under the age of 18 should ever be on social media. There is no business a 16-year-old girl has on Instagram.
I agree
if you
completely.
Check her DMs, guys, come on.
I agree.
Let's just get rid of this. Like, what are we doing? It's obviously bad. Haven, yeah. If it should be the age of consent. Like, whatever the age of consent is, that's what it should be.
The problem with that, though, is that it does actually differ by, like, state, by country, by county, etc. I think in the US, the minimum is probably 15. But most places, I believe it is 16.
We need universal pre-K. We need to reinstate the expanded child tax credit. We need term limits. See above, Andrew Yang. We need.
I'm not a fan of term limits. I think that if somebody's doing a good job, I want them to keep doing a good job. I think the problem is that I don't think the problem is actually term limits. I think the problem is a badly educated public that doesn't hold elected officials accountable. I don't want term limits or age limits at all. I think the problem is the voters. And any solution, like term limits, will not solve this problem because you'll just have new idiots come in that are also corrupt as well. That's my opinion.
Income-based affirmative
action. How do you hold them accountable whenever they don't care? Well, you vote for somebody else. The reason why politicians are able to do what they do is because voters don't hold them accountable because voters are too busy fighting with each other about like social wedge issues like abortion or like transsexual bathrooms or something like that.
Divide
and they don't
and
think
conquer.
about any of these other bigger issues because they're harder to understand. So if people were able to understand these bigger issues and they were able to process them and learn about them, then it would be easier to hold the politicians accountable.
Exactly. Their entire strategy with this is divide the people so you can conquer them. Keep them uneducated, keep them stupid. That way they won't know any better. Right? It really sucks. It really does.
It's like, for example, a lot of people think that you're not able to run for president if you are a felon. That is actually not true. You can't vote, but you can run for president. And the reason why you can is that the founding fathers thought there's no fucking way that a felon would actually run for president and for it to happen. There's no way. How could that possibly? There's no way that would happen. Well, it might this time.
Action. Any visible signs of affirmative action make no sense at all. You would rather be born gay or non-white in the United States today than poor, and that's a sign of our progress and our need to recalibrate who we give advantage to. Affirmative action, of which I'm a beneficiary of, I got Pell Grants, I got unfair advantage. Affirmative action is a wonderful thing, and it should be based on color. It should be based on green, how much money you have or don't have.
I think that's absolutely true. It's 100% true. The main thing that's going to hold people back is because of money. It's not like whether you're white or black or anything else. Like, if you don't have money, that's what it should be based off of.
True.
I also was a beneficiary of that. Absolutely.
And college enrollment and vocational programs, mental health, ban phones in schools, invest in third
I don't think you should ban phones in schools, by the way. I don't think so.
places, big brothers and sisters programs. We need national service. We need to tell people in the United States and Canada that they live in the greatest countries in the world, and we need to remind them.
The reason why not is because I think that if you take privileges away from people, you're treating them like children.
Yeah, but they are children. What it should be is, instead of outright banning phones from school, just ban the, like, smartphones from school. Only allow, like, phones in school. Like a flip phone, you know, it doesn't have any extra functionality. It just saves numbers and you can call numbers. That's it. No texting, just phone. That's what it should be. That should be the only phones allowed in school. Otherwise, everyone is just distracted. Everyone's distracted. So many distractions. You know what my distractions were when I was in school? Books. Either books or writing. That's basically what I would do to occupy my mind. Right? Because I didn't have a fancy phone. I didn't have a laptop, a computer, whatever. All I could do was, like, pull up a piece of paper, start drawing or writing. That's about it. Didn't have a phone until you were 15? Yeah, see? Mr. Jiggle turned out perfectly fine. Me, I didn't have a phone until I was, like, I think 19 or 20. Something like that. Yeah. It took me a long time to get a cell phone because, one, my household has never had all that much of an income. And two, well, I got lost too many times and didn't have a GPS, as well as, like, there were a couple times when the car I was driving broke down and I didn't have a cell phone to call anyone. So eventually it was decided, you know what? Let's get a phone, right? Nowadays I have a smartphone, so I don't have to worry about getting lost anymore. Hooray for GPS!
And whenever you're talking about like 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 16-year-olds, you need to treat them like adults. And if you don't treat them like adults, they are children. If they're 15, they're not. You know
I disagree with that.
I would concede that I think that, like, in elementary school, I don't know, like...
No, I disagree with that completely. 15 is definitely not an adult. 16, not an adult. 17, not an adult. 18, I would argue even 18-year-olds are not adults. Yes, they have mostly physically developed, but not their brains. Nah. You gotta fuck around and find out more. I'm 37, I barely even consider myself to be an adult. You know how much shit I had to learn to, like, get up to par with society? I mean, granted, my brain doesn't work like normal people's. I probably could have, like, had this amount of social knowledge by the time I was 20 if I had a normal brain. Unfortunately, I do not have a normal brain. I think Japan has the sweet spot in terms of adults. 20 years old. When you're 20 years old, you're an adult and you can drink. That's the sweet spot. That's my view on it.
I feel like there are more advantages to
That's
having
the bare
phones in
minimum
school than negatives, especially in terms of just like real logical things. Like, for example, like being able to call your parents to have them pick you up. I don't think that phones should be banned in schools. But I think that also parents should be able to, what do you call it? Or sorry, schools should be able to like disallow kids from having them out in class.
Also, Mr. Jiggle, here's another thing that I believe. I believe that military service should not be allowed until the age of 20. My reasoning for this is that I think that the age of adult should be 20, age of drinking should be 20, age of smoking should be 20. All of that 20 years old. You know why? Because your body is almost completely developed there. You're almost completely an adult. And, like, it's the best part, right? In the UK, they can enlist at 16. Yeah, and that's honestly kind of messed up. They're literally sending children out to do battle. Think of that. Do you want to see children going around with rifles killing people? No, of course you don't. In the Middle Eastern countries, you constantly see like these videos of kids going around with rifles, like small children, like 8 to 12 years old. That's messed up. Only adults should be allowed to enlist in the military. That's how I feel on it. Kids should be given the time to be kids. They shouldn't be trying so hard to be an adult. If I had the option to be a kid again, I absolutely would. Absolutely. Because I know all of the responsibilities that come with being an adult. Being an adult sucks. It absolutely blows. Man.
Them of that every day by exposing.
Yeah, they should be banned from being like. Maybe this is like confusing. You should be banned from pulling it out in class and using your phone in class, absolutely. But you should be allowed to have a phone with you.
Other great Americans where they feel connected tissue. We can do all of this. We can do all of it. We have the resources. The question is, do we have the will? This is my last slide. It is an emotionally manipulative slide to try and get you to like me more. But it does have a message. This is the whole shooting match. Anybody here without kids, ask someone with kids. You have your world of work, you have your world of friends, you have your world of kids. Something happens here, your whole world shrinks to this.
Yep.
So I present, as I wrap here, with just a few questions. One, if you acknowledge that our kids are the most important thing in our lives, that everything else we do here is meaningful, but our kids' well-being and prosperity is profound. If you acknowledge that they're doing more poorly than previous generations, if you believe there's a chance that the illusion of complexity has done nothing but provide cloud cover for the unbelievable transfer of goodwill, of well-being, and of prosperity from young to old, and if you believe we can actually fix these problems and we have the resources, then I present to you.
I don't think that we can fix them right now. The reason why is I don't think that the voting population that makes decisions, like the adult population of America, is educated enough to be able to understand what those problems are and vote against them. I genuinely think that people are too stupid to understand what these problems are.
I agree. They probably
They're
don't even
not.
understand half of these problems.
All right. All right. I
posit, I augur the question that I hope has more veracity than it did 17 minutes and 24 seconds ago. And that's the following question. Do we love our children? My name is Scott Galloway. I teach at NYU, and I appreciate your time.
There it is. Yeah, I think this is a really good,
Thank you.
really good TED Talk here. Actual TED Talk.
Yeah, really good TED Talk. Shame nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, Omega based. Yeah, I love the graphs, man. I think that, dude, these graphs are fucking based. Holy shit. Where's like the graph of all 6 of them? I'm trying to see if I can find it here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, he's pushing an agenda. Well, obviously he's pushing an agenda. What did you think he was doing? Like, of course it's an agenda. And you put up the link? Yeah, I'll link you guys the video. I think that I agree with basically everything he said. Like, there's a few like little minor things. It's like, I don't think it's really the way to do it. But overall, I think that it's pretty obvious, right? People think agenda is a buzzword these days. Yeah, exactly. And just been on a roll ever since it's on Bill Maher. Yeah, this guy's great, man. I feel like a lot of people, I think one of the reasons why people like him is because he puts things in a very blunt and like raw way without kind of sugarcoating or anything like that. And yeah, he's very real with that, and he doesn't really like insult the audience's intelligence by like trying to like talk around it. You know, he cuts through bullshit. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he doesn't use bullshit language. Exactly. And so, yeah, I feel like for a lot of kids, especially, like the way that I think, like the big problem that I think a lot of people have is that I don't think people are educated enough to understand what the real problems are and how to solve things like this. And the reason why I think that is how easily people can be totally distracted by like celebrity drama and by just like random bullshit. Like people, I think that the problem is education fundamentally, because if you have a bad education system, you are going to keep creating a population of people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about and they're stupid. I think that's the big issue. That is because like that's what every other issue stems out of, because these things happen because of that. Yeah, the idiocracy. Yes, it actually is. It's a bit of a high-minded view. What change have you voted for recently? I voted in 2020. I mean, I don't remember like all of the different propositions I voted for or anything, but I voted back then. I didn't vote in 2022, but I'll be voting this time in the new presidential election. I will. And also, I think that not voting on something is better than voting on something that you're not educated on. I am not a fan of compelled voting. I think that people should only vote on things that they know and they understand. And this idea of voting for random things because they're part of your political party, or people because they're part of your political party, I find this to be very problematic and not good at all. So yeah.
Kitty. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, it's a kitty cat. It's a kitty cat. Oh my god. Meow. 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 Oh. All right. It's time for the break. Break time, y'all. Ah, wow, 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 wow. Heck. Oh my god, I'm allergic to cuties. I'm allergic to cuties. Oh my god. Oh my god. Y'all just too cute. Oh my god. Too many cuties all up in the chat. What the heck? What the heck? Oh my god. Anyways, I'm back. Let's watch a spoopy video. It's time for the spoopsh.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. You're about to see
Spoopsh.
some super freaky video clips that no one can quite explain. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content.
Just like this. Oh my god. Why is it so loud? Jeez.
In a chilling revelation captured on a TikTok video by user Haley.Moore, the sanctity of a young girl's bedroom is shattered by an inexplicable occurrence. The footage, recorded on an indoor home security camera, unveils a seemingly innocent scene. The child, well past her bedtime, is engrossed in play.
Sure, I'll play with you. Why don't you play Meow?
But the tranquility swiftly transforms into terror. As the clock strikes 11, the child's playful antics take a sinister turn. Watch what happens.
Saw a light under the bed.
Watching that again, something seems to light up under the
What
bed.
the heck? Bro, that is creepy AF. Holy crap.
Then the girl appears to be forcibly grabbed. Eventually, her mother comes running into the room. Naturally, this clip went viral, with viewers demanding to know more. In an update video, the young girl's mother addresses some questions.
People have been asking me, have you been in the room? Have you guys looked under the bed? No, we haven't. We haven't been in the room in the last 2 days. We've been a little scared.
Eventually, she films under the bed.
Okay.
Oh my god.
A discarded doll appears to move all by
Oh.
itself.
That's creepy. That's creepy.
Adding to the macabre mystery, the homeowner's unsettling testimony hints at a history steeped in the supernatural. Previous occupants have whispered tales of a haunting, attributing the house's eerie ambience to its proximity to an ancient cemetery.
People that have lived here have had
Of
some
course
ghostly
there's an ancient
encounters.
cemetery.
I learned that it was built near, not on, but near a cemetery.
Speculation swirls. Was the girl ensnared by the spectral remnants of a restless soul?
To be fair, I guess, like, due to the sheer amount of people in the world now, it would not be surprising if, like, spirits of the deceased were, like, pretty much anywhere at this point. Just because of the sheer amount of people.
Or is there a less creepy way of explaining these unsettling events? Whatever the truth,
Graveyard or
the
not.
harrowing ordeal serves as a grim reminder of every parent's deepest fear. the vulnerability of their child in the face of the unknown.
Oh my god.
Some of you may
I
not
don't
be
care about
creepy.
your merch. I don't care about your merch.
In the realm of urban exploration, Adventures Jassim, better known as the Dark 79 on YouTube, has carved out a niche for himself by delving into the abandoned properties scattered throughout the Middle East, with a particular focus on Saudi Arabia. Armed only with his camera, he fearlessly navigates the eerie landscapes of forgotten structures, capturing the haunting beauty of decay.
Is it gonna be a Bismillah?
بسم الله
Bismillah.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
Hey, can I get a Bismillah?
Glancing over his channel, there are hundreds of explorations. Many of which capture some rather chilling encounters.
لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا إله إلا الله.
Creepy.
Among his many expeditions, one video stands out for its spine-chilling content. In this particular exploration, Jassim finds himself in an old, dilapidated house. As he wanders through the desolate rooms, the atmosphere grows increasingly tense, setting the stage for a truly unsettling encounter. It's when Jassim passes by a clothes line that the inexplicable occurs.
Oh.
His camera catches a fleeting glimpse
Oh.
of a ghostly face.
Oh, that is creepy.
There's no one
Holy
there.
crap. Oh, that is so creepy. Oh my goodness.
As the video
Oh.
spreads across the internet, speculation runs rampant. Some skeptics dismiss it as a cleverly crafted prank,
Black-eyed
while
kid.
others entertain the possibility of a genuine encounter with the supernatural.
Y'all know the stories of the black-eyed children, right? Oh my goodness.
A chilling video has surfaced on Morgan Lambert's TikTok page, leaving viewers baffled and spooked. In the footage, Morgan recounts a perplexing encounter relayed by her husband. He claims to have seen her standing in a corner of their house. The eerie twist? Morgan insists she was on a different floor of the home at the time of recording. Take a look at this strange footage.
What the heck?
Babe? Are you upstairs?
Upon closer examination of the video, a faint figure with its back to the camera looms in the corner of a room.
Yeah.
This
You can
seems
also
to
see a
confirm
cat.
her husband's bizarre sighting.
There's a cat down there.
Despite hours of scrutiny, Morgan remains bewildered, unable to unravel the
There it
mystery
is.
captured on film.
Babe? Are you
Babe?
upstairs?
Speculation runs rampant in the comments section, with many proposing the unsettling possibility of a doppelganger. Doppelgangers, often portrayed as eerie doubles or sinister
Doppelganger.
counterparts to individuals, have long fascinated and unsettled the human imagination. The term originates from German folklore, where it refers to a ghostly duplicate of a living person. Across cultures, doppelgangers are often associated with bad omens or impending doom, serving as harbingers of misfortune or even death. In psychology, the phenomenon is sometimes explained as a psychological projection or hallucination, though encounters with doppelgangers continue to perplex and intrigue believers in the supernatural. Whether seen as a mere figment of the imagination or a sign of something more ominous, the concept of doppelgangers continues to captivate the human psyche, reminding us of the mysterious and uncanny aspects of existence.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, doppelgangers actually exist as, like, some sort of psychic projection, right? It's the idea of you can't be in two places at once, right? So your psyche is like, man, I wish I could be doing this right now instead of this, right? So a psychic projection forms and starts doing things that you wanted to do, but you currently can't do. That sort of idea.
The bizarre nature of this incident leaves little room for definitive answers, leaving Morgan and her husband to grapple with the unnerving event in their home. As the online community ponders the inexplicable, one can only hope that the Lambert family can soon return to a semblance of normalcy, free from the shadows of the unknown.
Babe? Are you upstairs?
High above the bustling skies of New York City, a curious sight caught the attention of Michelle Rees, a passenger peering through her aircraft window near LaGuardia Airport.
Is it going to be another fast mover?
Sparked a whirlwind of speculation. A mysterious flying cylinder akin to a UFO gliding through the sky.
Yep, the cigar-shaped UFO. There it was. Looked more like a fast mover, but still.
In a blink and you'll miss it moment, a peculiar black object whizzes by the commercial airliner.
Yep.
In a recent interview on News Nation's Banfield, Rees recounted her astonishment and the immediate action she took, reaching out
you can
to
actually
the
see
Federal
quite a bit
Aviation
of
Administration, or
detail
FAA,
on that
to report the encounter. Yet her plea for clarity remained unanswered, raising concerns about potential safety implications.
Definitely not a
Joined by
drone,
UFO
that's for
investigator
sure.
Ben Hansen on the show, Rees shared her footage, seeking insight into the inexplicable sighting.
This was incredible, honestly, because it took a while just for us to get in touch with Michelle.
Hansen's analysis debunked any notions of fabrication, affirming the authenticity of the video.
We've now started to analyze the video, find no evidence that she faked this or hoaxed it. I didn't from the beginning, but we had to run it through.
The clarity and distinctiveness of the object, he noted, defies conventional explanation.
True. The proper, data analysis, and it's there. It's very clear.
Rees's social media post garnered further intrigue, with another passenger claimed to have witnessed the same phenomenon. The shared experience only amplified the disquiet surrounding the sighting. Enter Thomas Wertman, Ohio's Mutual UFO Network State Director, who offered his expertise on the matter. Wertman's observation of the object's proximity to the aircraft and its unconventional characteristics raises red flags. With years of skyward scrutiny under his belt, Wertman emphasized the potential hazard posed by such anomalies.
Man, UFO stuff is
calling
so
for deeper
interesting.
Investigation. The implications of this sighting are as vast as the cosmos itself. Could this footage unveil a genuine encounter with extraterrestrial visitors, or does it conceal a more earthly explanation, perhaps some government project? As speculation mounts, the truth remains as elusive as the object hovering over the New York skyline. So what's your take on this strange video? Love to hear your thoughts and theories on this one in the comments down below. Here's an intriguing video circulating on social media, originating from an Instagram account dubbed UAP Files. Posted on March 20th, 2024, this footage unfolds in the quiet night of Palmdale, California, where a woman films something quite strange in the sky.
What is that? What is that? Hurry! Hurry! What is that?
The woman's recording continues for several suspenseful seconds before coming to an abrupt end.
Are they lanterns?
That is something that...
Were the luminous objects truly unidentified flying phenomena, or is there a simpler explanation lying just beyond our grasp? In the online discussion
No
surrounding the
idea.
video, speculation runs wild. While some propose a mundane explanation involving birds, others
That
remain
ain't
steadfast
birds.
in their belief of a more supernatural origin.
You
Some
crazy if you think
speculate
that's
that it could
birds.
be SpaceX's Starlink launching satellites. So are we
I think it's
witnessing
most likely to be
visitation from
lanterns,
extraterrestrial
but
beings, or is there a more rational
seems
explanation?
out of season
Feel
for
free to share
something
your
like
thoughts on
that.
this one down below.
Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps.
That would definitely be scary. That's for sure.
In a curious tale that's been capturing attention across social media platforms,
Lanterns
a
wouldn't
video
really go up that
uploaded by
high.
a user named
Oh.
Angel has sparked intrigue and
Dunno.
speculation. The footage, initially innocuous, shows
Kitty.
a cat perched atop a piece of furniture in Angel's room.
Get it,
its
kitty.
gaze fixed intently
Get it.
on something unseen. However, there appears to be a face peering through the upper window of the door. Angel
Okay,
says
that's
she
creepy.
lives alone and was super
That's
unsettled
creepy.
by this incident. Many commenters urged Angel to call the police, fearing an intruder was casing the home for a robbery.
That is
or
very
worse.
creepy.
But the strangeness doesn't end there. The next morning, Angel notices a strange wooden object on her front lawn. So
That
what's
looks
to be made
like a
of this
totem.
unsettling incident? Has Angel captured a burglar in action? Or perhaps it's an obsessed peeping Tom? Either way, this eerie footage is hard to forget.
She definitely should contact someone. Oh. 4:30. She definitely should contact someone because that wood thing on the lawn, to me, it looked like a totem, which means someone may be practicing some sort of craft. And it might be a good idea to seek help, you know. Could also just be a marker.
This
Could
eerie
be.
clip has surfaced on the Instagram account, The Confessionals Podcast.
A gnome.
Captured by a Blink home
Not a
security
gnoblin.
camera, the
Not a
footage reveals
gnolf.
something truly
But a
odd.
gnome. Oh heck. They tiny. Oh my lord.
Upon witnessing the strange occurrence,
Huh.
the family ventured outside, only to find no sign of anything out of the ordinary.
That was a gnome. Huh.
We've featured footage similar to this before, and many viewers have
Well, all right.
suggested it could be a raccoon or skunk walking on its front legs, a behaviour often associated with displaying dominance or intimidation. Still, this explanation hasn't stopped viewers from suggesting this could be a gnome or pixie caught on camera. So what do you think this is? Love to hear your thoughts on this one. Let them rip down in the comments.
I mean,
down
it
below.
could be an animal.
Before we take a look at some
Ba,
even
ba, ba.
A peculiar
never
video
mess with the
surfaced over on our
Fae,
Slapped Hands
ever.
subreddit posted by a user under the handle Dark Jester Returns.
Also, when it comes to the Fae, if you do encounter them, do not ask any questions and do not answer any questions. If you need to, like, answer a question from them, make it as vague as possible. Nothing that's, like, able to be interpreted in any weird ways. Okay? Never make any deals with the Fae.
Take a look.
Also, it wouldn't hurt to keep something made of iron with you, just in case.
Out of nowhere, one of the wheelchair's front wheels begins to move, seemingly all on its own. Although the video concludes abruptly, speculation runs rampant in the comments section. Some entertain the notion of a spectral presence animating the wheelchair, adding an eerie layer to an already perplexing scene.
You can see shadows moving like right there and right there. So there could be some sort of motor installed running a wire through the
Now, if you want to see some more creepy
wheel. Steel is just hardened iron and I normally carry a knife. There you go. Alright, well anyways, I have an event in my Discord server here shortly. As it is Tuesday, innit? Basically every Tuesday we get together and watch some episodes of One Piece to eventually catch up and stuff. Currently, we're going to be watching episodes 941 to 946. So there's that. It's a watch party, One Piece watch party. Anyways, that will be all for stream for now. Watch party's starting in about 27 minutes, roughly speaking. So, yeah. That will be it for the current stuff. Yes. Yes. Let me check something. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba. Ha-ba-da-ba, ha-ba, ba, ba-do, ha-ba-da-ba, ba-da-boo, ha-ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-boo, ba-do, ha-ba-ba-da, ha-ba-ba-ba, ha-ba-da-da-da, ha-ba-da-ba, ba-boo, ba-boo-do, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-do. All right, I shall read someone.
How tempted to call the boss.
Oh my god! I was not expecting my ears to be assaulted. All right, gonna be raiding / raid a bit of joy. Fellow V Gremlins member, a bit of joy. They are pretty heckin' poggers. Currently playing, what's it? Abiotic Factor. I don't really know what the game is, so I can't really tell you how it plays or anything. But hopefully it's something cool. Anyways, if for whatever reason y'all would like to see more of me, feel free to follow me on my socials. You know, like Twitter, Blue Sky, etc. Join my Discord, where you can be a weirdo with like all of us. And of course, you could like follow me both on my YouTube and my Twitch. That would be great. Yep. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can find all of those fancy links in the description box down below. Right? Like, favorite, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.